Hey guys, today we're going to make a home sign with these paint sticks that I got at Home Depot for a bundle for 98 cents. And we are going to be using 6 of them. And then we're going to take this purple stain that I got from Michael's for $1.97 in the clearance section. And we're going to paint the front and sides of each one. Now you might want to use gloves when you're working with stain. I didn't, but it will stain your fingers. So after you have the stain on there, you're going to want to take a paper towel and wipe the excess stain off of each one, front and sides as well. So I did all 6 of these. And that's what they look like when you wipe it off. And then I just moved them out of the way. And then I got these wood letters, H, M, and E from Michael's. And we're going to paint them this sage chalk paint from Folk Art, which you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And we're going to paint the front and sides of each letter. Painting the sides can be a little tedious, but it's worth it in the end with how it looks. So I painted each letter, and then I did the tops of each letter a second coat. Now I'm just moving these out of the way so that they can dry. And then I'm going to line up the sticks, and I'm going to make the little groove in each stick, every other one up and down. And then I'm figuring out how I want them to lay to make a window. And then I'm going to flip them over and do 3 horizontally, and then 3 vertical across the top of them. And then once I get them lined up, and you can use a ruler to make sure that it's even. I just eyeballed it, and then I'm going to glue them down with my hot glue gun. Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm putting a little dab of hot glue on the front of the other glue stick so that it will pull through. And then I took this chicken wire ribbon and I cut 4 pieces, all the same length. And I am going to adhere them to the back of this. Now, if we weren't using another backing over top of the chicken wire, I would say that you'd want to staple them down. But because we're putting a fabric backer on there, I just hot glued them. And then I'm just going to tack them down on each end and in the middle. And I'm just using the back of my paintbrush here to stick the wire down in the glue so I don't burn my finger. And I went ahead and I did all 4 pieces. You can also use a bigger piece of chicken wire for that. This is a greenery fabric that I got at Michael's for $1.49. It's just a scrap piece of fabric. And it's got lavender and basil and different herbs on there. So I'm just laying it across, and then I'm going to cut off the excess and put to the side for another craft at another time. And then I'm just going to hot glue it. Now again, if you wanted to use a staple gun, you could use it for this as well. And you want to pull it kind of taut across the back. And then I did the top half, and then I lifted the fabric up, and I'm doing the bottom half. And then I'm just making sure that it is stuck all the way around the wood. And then once I have the fabric all adhered to the wood, I am going to flip it over and start cutting off the excess fabric around the edges. There you can see the herbs a little bit and the purple from the lavender. So that's what it looks like with the fabric and the chicken wire. And then I got this little wreath at Michael's for 49 cents, and that's going to be the O in the home. And I made that little green bow ahead of time, but I will show how to make it for another project. And then I'm taking some floral wire, and I am going to adhere the bow to the wreath. So I'm just sticking it through the back and then wrapping it around the wreath. And the green that I made the bow with, I got that over in the wreath section at Michael's. And then I'm taking an extra piece of it, and I'm going to tie it around there because that's what I'm going to use which I just actually ripped it there, but I'm going to use it to stick to the chicken wire. So then I got these little pieces of what looks like lavender at Michael's for $1.49 with 40% off. It's just a little piece of it, and I am going to take 2 pieces of the actual floral part, and I'm going to use some of the floral wire, and I'm going to stick it to the wreath. So you just wrap it around at the end. You probably want to do around the middle, and then I'm going to actually overlap both pieces, which you'll see in just a minute, and I am going to wrap around the middle as well. So that's what it looks like once both pieces are on there. And then I'm going to take that piece that I had tied on earlier, and I am going to wrap it around the chicken wire. Which for future videos, I think I'm going to try to find a new angle for the camera so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Then I'm just cutting off the excess. And then I'm going to take my other letters, the H, M, and the E, and I'm going to line them up how I want them. And I'm just gluing them down to the board or the wood part of the window. And then to hang this, you can either put a piece of twine on the back, and there you go, that's what it looks like. Or you can get some command Velcro to hang it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you make it, make sure that you send me a picture. Thank you guys so much. Bye.